My name is Sheila Arias, and I am an ESL teacher at the Urban Assembly School of Design and Construction in Manhattan. I teach English as a second language to 10th and 11th graders, and I also teach a student government class to 9th, 10th, and 11th and 12th graders. What inspired me to become a teacher was that in high school and middle school, I had some really great teachers that really just, try to help me out. And eventually they inspired me once I started thinking about what career I wanted to proceed with as an adult, and also having the background of being an ESL student, which is coming into the country and learning English. I felt like that gave me kind of like a hand up with everyone else, and I could be an ESL teacher and help other kids that were in my situation. So some of the pros about teaching in New York City is that I get to work with a variety of students from different cultures. So our school, although it's design and construction, we have a lot of students from the Dominican Republic. We have students from the Middle East. I've been able to teach 2 students from Pakistan, which is really great. Just learning their culture is just a window into getting to know the student as well and getting to know their educational background. So that's really great. Additionally, teaching in a city, we have such a vast area to explore, in terms of we get to take them to all sorts of different places like museums, some Broadway shows that we've done in the past, and just explore the city, take them across the Brooklyn Bridge to see up close and investigate how the bridge was made, with what materials. So that's really great. The most rewarding part of teaching, especially in New York City, is when you get to see a student succeed. And that can take weeks, months, a couple of days, or even years. A really good example of this is currently a student who I've had now for 5 years, and she really, really struggled as a freshman and sophomore. She had all sorts of issues at home and a really explosive personality, and we butted heads a lot. And I really, at some points, those first 2 years I was with her, I was unsure whether or not she'd be able to make it through. But now, 5 years later, she's going to be able to graduate, and we've been able to go through this amazing journey together as teacher and student, of just providing the supports that she needed when she was in my classroom, and also outside of the classroom, which is really important for teachers to make those bonds with students, especially the ones that are at risk. So my biggest reward is going to be, 5 years later when she actually gets her diploma on that stage. Unfortunately, there are some cons to teaching in New York City. One of them being that we don't, as a high school, we don't get to know where the students' curriculum has been like in elementary school or middle school. So, high school teachers are left with like a guessing game of like, oh, what books have they read? What do they already know? Because a district can cover, all the way from Inwood all the way down to 125th. So we can't possibly know what the student's curriculum has been like. So it makes our job harder in a sense that, if I already have something in my curriculum like Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare, a couple of years ago I found out that half of my class had already read it. And unfortunately, it's already in my curriculum, so I couldn't make the change last minute. So that's definitely a con. How I spend my summers varies on the year. I have gone to Europe and relaxed in Spain because I have family there. I have also worked during the summers. 2 years ago, I actually tutored 2 students that were at risk and low literacy. So we did a program called Wilson Reader. So that was for about a month and a half, and then I went away with my husband. Other years, we tend to get together at the end of the summer, right in the middle of August, and we work on curriculum. Some of the teachers get together and work on curriculum, and that's that can be really fun because you have the time that you don't have during the school year to actually plan out part of your year. So that's really great. But we're very lucky that we have summers off because during the year it can be very intense. And although some people think that that's, not great, that not every other job has, 2.5 months off, as a teacher, I really am grateful for that time because it gives me kind of like a restart button, especially if we've had a rough year.